Proper Punters, brought to you by CrossBet. Are you ready to level up your punting game?
All right, welcome back to another week of Proper Punters. I'm here with my man, Tommy Forward.
How are you, mate?
I'm absolutely depressed about the weather.
Yeah, I know.
Just a very interesting card, although I think I've found one or two horses that will really appreciate it, and we'll get to that in a little bit.
Beautiful, mate.
How was your weekend?
Mate, the weekend was unreal. You had an absolutely outstanding weekend, mate.
A little pat on the back.
Yeah, mate. Unreal to get a result in the last. Moravia, too good. J-Mac, once he put it in the 1-1, what were you feeling?
Oh, it was, and I know he doesn't do this, but he rode it as if he'd backed it, and that's a massive compliment. I just loved that he knew that. I think he didn't want to get too far back, and he knew the horse can kid, and he just didn't want to give it excuses. I think he thought it was the best horse in the race. Mm-hmm. He put it into a beautiful, like God, in the 1-1, and you were just sitting there just going, "How good's this?"
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just perfection.
Yeah,
he rode it extremely well, but like it's a funny one because. Like you start the day with El Costello, and you're sitting there going, "I'm a genius.
Yeah.
I'm tipping Anthony Cummings winners," and then racing has this amazing way of bringing back down to earth with She's Exotic.
Yeah, in the highway,
just absolutely gave up like a prick balloon. You go from here down to here.
Yep,
and then you. Just kind of battled through the day, and then I was confident. I said to you, I think as you put it, you sold it to me.
Yeah.
And that was good. Great day. Good to get those results.
For sure.
It's not that often that I'm very, very extremely confident in town.
Yeah.
But
it's hard to be with such good racing.
Well, it is. The good mare bounced back to form.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't really say we're suggesting as a bet, but definitely had a clear on top.
Van Gogh, definitely. For sure.
She was. She showed the signs in the trial that she was getting back to her best,
we did
and
say
she
that,
showed
how good her trial was.
She showed the quality racehorse that she is.
For sure.
Interesting day's cards, and obviously great racing around. We've got Friday night, which we'll probably touch on, I think, in one of your best bets.
Yep.
And then we've got Rosehill. Now, weather's not great. I'll get your thoughts on that. Mm-hmm. We're going to preview races 5 to 9, which are predominantly the better races on the card.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the track and the weather? What are we looking?
Unsure, because not much rain's forecast for the next 2 days, so it'll be interesting how much...
Well, barring today.
Yeah, barring today, how much damage has been done today. But there's sort of drying conditions over the next 2 days. Look, I'm doing my form for 5, 6, 7.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's currently saying a 5, whatever that means.
Yeah.
And... Look, weather zone saying 10 to 20 mils. If it gets that, it could. I would think probably
7.
Worst case of 7.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just with the drying, look, there's a little bit more rain forecasted tomorrow, and then I think it should hold off. It's not exceedingly warm weather Saturday.
Yeah. I'll be looking for horses that want to get their toe in, I think, that will appreciate some softer ground, but not sort of mudlarks, if that makes sense.
It's exactly. So you've got... Rail True.
Yeah.
Somewhere between a 5 to a 7.
Yeah, I think they'll want to get off the fence. I think the fence won't be the place to be. I think they'll come 10, 12 off the fence.
I'm hoping it is closer to the 5. Like I said, if it's a 5, 6, not so much that horses can't win.
Yep.
Everything that I say in the preview will come with a big asterisk of...
Yeah, wait and see.
Because if the more rain is predicted, the track is nowhere near as good as what they say it is. Well, there's going to be scratching. There's going to be horses don't handle it. I personally won't be having a bet till the day. I'll be waiting till final field.
Yeah, for sure.
But definitely looks an interesting day. There's some big fields. I find these tracks play a little bit off the fence. It's when you've got... I think the best horses can run on and win. I'm hoping it's one of those days.
Yeah, me too.
But I'm not going to predict too much. I'm just going to wait and see, and we'll do our best to get through a preview and try and tip the followers into a few more winners.
Sounds good, mate.
All right, we'll kick off race 5.
Yep.
We've got Gatsby favourite. What's the speed make like?
Yeah, it looks above average at this stage, like we said. But Ikasara and Couples Retreat I've got going forward. Interesting what J-Mac does with Gatsby's from 1. I mean, the horse has tactical speed, as we've seen before. When it won on Canterbury at debut, it sat outside the leader. So I think James will want to use his gate. The horse has fitness, third up. I don't see him getting too far back. And then a horse like Bodyguard, who's the second favourite, I think he'll find a midfield position and just try to run home. High Octane from gate 8, I think they'll be ridden conservatively. But looking to the key chances, I think Gatsby's gets a lot of favours that he didn't have last start. I think getting to the wet track again is more suitable. James came back from last start behind Stormboy and said the horse just didn't let down on such firm footing. So it's a big tick getting back to the soft ground. And I think with fitness on its side over its key rivals in Bodyguard, it's the one I want to be with. What about you, Mace?
I'm in complete agreement with everything you said. Obviously love the horse. I said the exact same thing. Even before hearing what J-Mac said, I think I said it in the Discord, as soon as it didn't let down, he kind of looks like one of those 2-year-olds that gets like shin sore. Like it must be something to do with either his feet, his joints, something he doesn't like about those firmer tracks.
Yeah, for sure.
All of his better runs have come from on wet tracks, and even his win on Canterbury that day, there was a little bit of cut out of the track, and I find Canterbury seems to be like a bit of a cushion track.
Mm-hmm.
Horses that do like that cushion seem to like Canterbury.
Yep.
I think there's no Storm Boy in this race.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's a talented animal still, and I just think he needs probably a little bit of cut out of the track to do his best. Barrier 1 should be fine. He'll put himself there. Waller loves using good gates. No one, I don't think, in the world is riding as good as J-Man.
No.
Not that I'm watching that much international racing, so you can probably put a line through my comment. But he's just... Honestly, J-Mac is just, in touch wood, we don't put the mocker on him if you're backing him, but he's just doing everything right. It's funny, we do a footy podcast, and we did it with Rennie Matua and Braithen Astor, and he was talking about athletes, and he said hesitation. And one thing that J-Mac at the moment, there's no hesitation, and he's just pulling the right rein all the time.
Yeah.
And I think in racing, for jockeys, when they're riding well, they don't hesitate and they make the right decisions. And they're on horses. You're not on a motorbike. If you do find an arse, you can't just accelerate. You need to build momentum. And he's giving all of his horses really good chances at the moment.
Absolutely.
I've got Gatsby's as a bet for me, and it's in my best bets, and we can talk about it later. But yeah, I'm with Gatsby. I think he bounces back here.
For sure. Love it.
Race 6. Benchmark 88.
Yeah, on these cards, it's the best race in winter, but in summertime, they're not great, are they?
No, not at all. All right. Do you want to run through the speed? We've got a massive field.
Yeah, massive field.
There could be a bit of a complexion change after scratchings, but run us through what there's
This
there.
is just the preliminary map, we'll say. But I've got Willado and Denal Star. They want to be positive. And then Green Shadows from Net's low draw. Hell of a Dancer from 6. I think they want to push forward. A lot of back markers and a lot of midfielders in this race. Horses that just want to find an arse, settle in the run, and then sprint home late. Kansana, Ruby Flyer, Superazi, Tavi Time resuming for the Chris Lee stable. Gate 17. I think they've only got one option, and that's just sit back, settle, hope there's some speed on it. It can run home well. But yeah, big field. It's interesting. Sometimes one of these sort of wider draws might just say, stuff it, let's go forward, let's put some speed on, we're fit. Who that might be, I'm not too sure. Glory Days might want to be up there. Very tricky race. I didn't have a big opinion. I thought Willado at the 1400 was some concern in this kind of grade. But then looking away, I wasn't really sure. I think Tavi Time is some chance. I think the best time to strike with this horse is fresh or sort of in its first or second up runs. Trials have been good, but the map sort of detracts any betting interest for me. I think gate 17, first up, it's a negative sort of setup.
The gate's a massive query.
Yeah.
Where if it's me and I'm Jason and looking at this map, I would almost... He showed a lot more tactical speed at the end, in his last 3 runs. Like pretty much all of last campaign. He was sitting in the first 4 a lot. Or predominantly he was a horse that used to go quite back. I think he's got a lot more tactical pace now.
Yep.
I would be inclined to not give him a squeeze, but at least if he jumps well, let him go. Give him maybe a little click up and try and just find a position. There isn't a lot of pace on paper here.
No.
And as long as Jason, the problem is Jason is renowned for riding horses quite negative.
Yeah.
It's his natural nature, and they come under him, and he's very good at riding those style of horses.
Yeah.
I think if you want to win this race, you can't be going back and settling last unless he's gone to a whole new level.
Don't be surprised if Jason sort of does his snicks it straight to the inside fence, ducks up the inside and tries to sort of cut the corner.
I just think you've probably got to jump at the gate. It's such a big, looking at this race as it is right now, there's so many horses in this race, and if you do go back, you're going to find that many arses.
Yeah.
Exactly. I think, and it'll all depend how the track's playing on the day. I would be inclined to give it a squeeze and not be too far back.
Yeah.
Personally.
Yep.
I definitely give it a chance. I look at a horse like Walado.
Yep.
Bit of probably a grand final race. It's got fitness on its side compared to a lot of these.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's definitely classier animals. I think it's a race where it could get some favours up on the pace, where there doesn't look to be a lot of pace at the moment.
Yeah.
So
No, definitely.
another horse I just want to make mention of, Good Banter.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck, I love this horse's trial. Gets
Yeah.
into the race. She's a very talented animal. Has won over 1,200 before, so obviously is a maiden, but she's a high quality animal. Potentially using this as a little bit of a practice run, but fuck, she's going to be 30-1 and probably worth a small spec.
Yeah. No, love it, mate.
Race 7, we go to the Golden Pendant. We've got Amelia Jewel, $2. Second favourite now.
Yeah.
Samana's now just tapped in the favouritism.
Yep. Small field.
Yeah.
Looking at the map, average tempo, Tropical Squire want to be forward from gate 8. Macarena, gate 3, will want to use its gate. And then Semana, or Semana, however you want to pronounce it, it's a go-forward horse. So I think it will just be happy to take the sit behind either of those two horses. Amelia's Jewel has drawn a nice midfield gate. I think it'll just settle in its natural midfield position. And then Lekvart, Arctic Glamour, those horses will be rearward.
Yeah, I mean, you've got Good Band. It's in this race as well.
Yeah, it's a dual acceptor.
I would think it would run in the other race if it gets in, which you think it should.
Yeah.
But you never know.
Yeah.
You never know. It's probably an indication they think the horse is going extremely well to maybe run here.
For sure. Small field looks a pretty straightforward map. I don't see too many sort of what the hell was that kind of situations.
Yeah.
I guess it comes down to what we predict the track conditions to be like. I think Amelia's Jewel is just the best horse in this race, but I think the wet track brings her back a couple lengths back to the field.
Yeah.
Samana's no slouch, ran well in the Wink Stakes, had its opportunity. Fangirl beat it a length in that race. A length off Fangirl's good form for this. The wet track is suitable for this horse, and always have to respect the Kieran Maher stable. My one reservation is I've struggled to find Dylan Gibbons as of late, especially in town. But he's a jockey that I am not the best of friends with. But but yeah. We'll.
There was a stage where he's absolutely airborne. I think it's funny with a lot of. He's no longer an apprentice, but they go through that stage. I've probably seen that happen with Zach Lloyd of recent as well. I think he's starting to ride he's improving his riding again, but he was the golden child and then falls off a cliff and then they bounce back.
When they lose their claim, I think.
Yeah, it's welcome to first grade. It's
pretty
not
much.
Easy.
Yeah. In saying that, I'll be with Semana predicting that we're on a soft 7. I think the wet ground really puts her at the top of this race and happy to be with her over Amelia's Jewel, who I think will be better suited to dry ground.
You know what? She's bloody tough.
Yeah.
She's a really good, tough animal. I think there's minimal horses that can probably win this race, albeit it is a small field.
Mm-hmm.
Tropical Squall will probably get favours.
Yep.
Do think she probably prefers it a little bit dry too.
Yep.
I completely agree with Amelia's Jewel. Best horse in the race. But she's only had the one run on the soft run second. I think she much prefers the dry track. So if it is 6 and worst, I'm definitely leaning towards Semana. And to be honest, I'm actually leaning towards Semana almost full stop.
Yeah.
I loved the last run. I was a bit like you. I thought it was tough. Just ran out a little bit of gas late.
Yep.
She's ran within 3/4 of the length of Fangirl.
Yeah.
Form's been franked.
Mm-hmm.
Different style of run. She was getting tired. The other one was just getting warmed up. But, I definitely think she's a good chance in this race, and the race was probably minimal chances.
Yeah, love it.
We move on to the next, race 8.
Rest of the day, Golden Rose, 1400.
The feature.
Yeah.
It's been a good... I've had a little bit of luck in this race.
Let's hope we can keep it up. I got a fast tempo here. I think they'll go pretty quickly. Stormboy from 11 will have no option. It'll just go to its usual pattern. Interesting to see whether it jumps slowly, but I think the gate is a good gate for a horse that jumps slowly away because he won't get into sort of a scrum with the horses around it. And I think he'll just be able to find his rhythm, work to the front, and should be good. Mayfair, gate 5, will want to be positive. I think all the Gay Waterhouse runners in this race will want to be up there. A Node from 10 will want to slide across with Stormboy. I think those two will be the two that will lead, and I think Mayfair will take that sit behind from 5. Daggers from 4, also a positive horse. It's duly accepted, I think, at Sandown, so it'll be interesting to see where they go with it. And then Broadsiding, the favourite in the race, the one that all the hype's about. Gate 1 is interesting. I think James will find a midfield position. I think he's kind of going to be dictated to by gate 1. He won't really have options to push on and lead with Stormboy, or I don't think he wants to get too far back either. Just a natural midfield position. The second fave, Traffic Warden, gate 9, I think it'll settle rearward and try and sprint home like it did last start. Interesting what they do with linebacker, because it was ridden cold, fresh. I think you'll speak about it, about how good of a run it was last start, but
it just dead set looked like a barrier trial.
This is a horse that led or sat up on speed as a 2-year-old, so I don't know if they'll adopt similar tactics.
Got a stallion chain first time.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the purpose of why he's doing that.
2
runs on heavy tracks are being suited well. Rain, if it does get very heavy, it will definitely increase his chances.
For sure.
Albeit Broadsiding also handles it.
Yeah.
Traffic Warden's run was just so good.
It was
It was very impressive. One thing I'll say, I do think he prefers firm footing though.
Yep.
Stormboy, God, I'm almost like I'm still a bit, the jury's out.
Yeah. You did say that last start about the horse.
Won the race first up. I'm still not convinced he's top notch.
Yeah.
I'm not convinced he's top notch. Probably comes out and wins, makes a fool of me.
I think the wet ground is against him. It's definitely not a track that's going to be suitable for him.
No, I totally agree with that. Always said that he looked like he'd be a 1,400 metre on pace horse.
Yeah.
I can't find him.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I'm against him. I'm with Broadsiding.
Yep.
The trial porn that's been produced has been outstanding.
Yep. J-Mac rides, sticks.
J-Mac sticks.
This stable is elite when they put J-Mac on.
Oh, it's just, it's very, very good.
Yeah.
I've got linebacker second from all the run that we saw on the fans. Yes, didn't go around the horse. Notable mention to Tropicus.
Yep.
Got the Big Zara coming up to ride it. Just started getting warm late. Don't think it'll be winning here. Could potentially be running a place at big odds, but maybe just keep an eye on it for the guineas. I thought, potentially the start after this.
Yeah. The Golden Rose is always a good race for the guineas.
Definitely. I think it could be a very good lead.
Yeah.
Interesting to see.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think Broadsiding's the one. I thought the early price of sort of 270, 280 is a bit skinny. I think we'll see 350, 360, and I think that then becomes a bet for me. But like you said, the trials were unbelievable. Had a rockets up its ass. I think Traffic Warden was set for the previous race too. I think the stable kept them apart first up and brought Broadsiding into here, and I don't think they can avoid keeping them apart this race. I think Traffic Warden will be better suited to 1,200, while I think Broadsiding gets the nod up to 1,400.
Definitely, well, yeah. So it definitely gets the nod. One over the miles. The wins at the end of the last prep were just outstanding.
Yeah,
like the win in the JJ Atkins was just
phenomenal.
Next level. Absolutely next level.
Who he beat was not this kind of class, but just the style, the substance, the horse's action, the way it just like flattens out and just extends beautifully. You know that despite beating a weak field, it's a good horse.
Yes. Sometimes, exactly. You can only beat what's in front of you, and he absolutely bashed. Absolutely bashed him.
Yep.
can't agree more with everything that you just said.
Love it, mate.
All right, we move on to our last preview race 9.
Yep.
Shannon
Stakes.
Yes.
Fast tempo, I'm pretty sure. Looking at sort of at the preliminary maps, Amor Victorious is a go-forward horse, likes to
Certainly
control. So as does Bases Loaded, the current favourite. So it'll be interesting to see whether they tussle or whether they just are happy to sit leader and outside the leader. Freedom Rally was aggressive last start. Nash with the blinkers on went forward on the horse. I think Gate 4 again, it will be positive.
Yep.
Punch Lane's another go-forward horse. So I think there's going to be a fast tempo here with a lot trying to sit up on speed. Celestial Legend from Gate 2, I think they'll just settle 3-4 pairs back on the fence. If they can hold an off-fence position, ideal, but more than likely on the fence. I'll start. I think the price for Celestial Legend is too big not to find out. I think sort of $485 for a horse of this class is just like, I think it's just an auto bet. Doncaster winner on heavy ground. It was just a sort of, people, like you see 8th in the form guide, but it was fat in the yard. It wasn't ready. I think it will improve dramatically with the run, and I think we'll see a much better Celestial Legend on Saturday. I'm happy to take the $5 and $2 the place each way all day for me, Mace. What about you?
We're in agreement. There was, we said it in the preview for its last race that I was heavily against it. And I think when we did the preview, it was like $3.50 favourite. It was short. And then it blew. It got out to the $5, $6, $7, I think, in the end.
$7, yeah.
Got out to $7. Funnily enough, I've got a friend that gets a little bit of good mail from around the traps, and there was talk that the horse has been flying on the track, and he goes, "I want to have a big bet," and I said, I never like to talk anyone out of a bet, but I couldn't see it winning that race, and I just thought, following the Lesbridge stable, he has targets. Is it going to be cherry ripe for today? No, but it's going to be a hell of a lot closer.
Yeah.
I absolutely loved the run. It was just getting warm late.
Yeah.
Wasn't suited in that race the other day. The step up to the 1500 is going to be perfect. From Gate 2, I'm tipping him to sit a fair bit closer.
Yep.
Performed well on the soft. This horse, yes, he's got top weight. Depending on how wet it gets, could be a little bit of a disadvantage to some of those 53 kilo horses.
Yeah.
But I think he is by far the superior animal in this race.
For sure.
And I think if you're backing him, I'd be having a big each way bet. And I think if he does get beat tomorrow, he'll be winning the start after.
Yeah.
So he's probably close to a max bet each way that in town for me. I'm keen.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm very, very, very keen.
Good to hear, mate. Hopefully we can go back-to-back weekends for you, mate.
Yes.
Moravia into Celestial Legend.
It'd be nice. $5 mark, beautiful. Look, I think you do want to see the mounting yard. You do want to see some money for him late. I think if there's money for him late, just keep betting.
Yeah, just keep going. Yep.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right. Well, do you want to get into your best bets?
Yeah, I'll start with the best bets. We'll go to Friday, tomorrow night. We'll go to Moonee Valley, race 4, Pride of Jenni. I think this horse gets significant favours compared to last start when Mr. Brightside beat it. I think a dry, tight turning track as his horses go. And I think out in front, 10 lengths out in front, I think Mr. Brightside won't get a cart into the race. So I'm chips in Pride of Jenni. Then we'll go to Saturday, Sandown race 3, a horse called Zloties from the Graham Beeg stable. It's 2 from 2 this preparation. I love the way this horse is hitting the line. I think it can continue on its winning ways. And then we'll go to Rosehill, race 5, Gatsby's. As Mason and I already mentioned, I think this horse is much better suited to wet ground. I think J-Max sticking's a positive, and I think we'll see the best of this horse on Saturday. And then we'll finish with Rosehill, race 7, Semana. Like we said, it was a great run in the Wink Stakes. I like wet ground, always respect the Kira Ma stable, and I think this horse can finish us off with a win. Mace, what about you?
Beautiful. Love a bit of enthusiasm. Love it. I'm going to Rosehill, race 5, number 3, Gatsby's. A little bit disappointing last start, but I think he jarred up. I think he's a horse that likes the cut out of the track, so probably wetter the better, more rain, more on. Race 7, number 4, Semana. Really gutsy effort. Just finished probably 3/4 of length off Fangirl, who's since come out and franked that form. Fizen's a far more winnable race, and I think with the wet track, she'll have that over Amelia's Jewel. Race 8, number 1, Broadsiding. if you like trial porn, go and watch its trials. This horse is absolutely flying. I think he's the best horse in the race. You'll get the dream run, and J-Mac on board will get the job done. And we finish off with race 9, number 1, Celestial Legend. Absolutely adored the run first up. Just really got motoring late. I think the step up to the 1500 will just suit him down to the ground, and he's like his second up form stats and wet stats are all really good. Whatever he does today, I think he will improve on, but it's a big bet each way for me. All right, well, we're starting, God, we're getting really into the end of the carnival. Like it's starting to heat up.
Yep.
4 weeks and it's almost cup time.
Next week's Epsom. Next week,
Shit.
Epsom and Metrop, I believe.
I don't understand how it happens.
Time's flying. We were only just speaking about coming into winter racing and now summer racing, and now we're over the hill towards the end.
Just need the Chookies to win for my mental sanity. If we could get that, that'd be huge. Thanks, Punters. All right. Thank you, Tommy. We'll see you next week. Sounds good. Hopefully we've tipped you guys into a few more winners. Please do sign up to the Discord and we'll try and tip you into a few around the traps.
Love it.
What are you prepared to lose today? Set a deposit limit. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.